Hello everyone. In today's lecture we will see the second part of unit 1, that is suspension system. Okay, so let's start the lecture. So these are the topics of this chapter. First one is the introduction, second we'll see the objectives of suspension system, third we'll see the types of suspension system, next we'll see the springs, then dampers, torsion bar. Let's see the introduction. What do you mean by a suspension system? Suspension system is the system of tires, tire air, springs, shock absorbers and linkages that connects a vehicle to its wheels and allow relative motion between them. So here is the picture of a suspension system, you can see here. So this is known as a suspension system. This is wheel and this is your suspension system, right? It is a combination of shock absorber, dampers, springs, etc., right? So what are the primary functions of the suspension system? First function is maximizing the contact between the tires and the road surface, right? Second one is providing steering stability and good handling, and third one is evenly supporting the weight of the vehicle. It's a very important point. A good suspension system must support the weight of your vehicle, right? Let's see, before we start a suspension system, let's understand the basic tire terminology, right? So first is you can see here camber angle. What is camber angle? Camber angle is the angle between the wheel plane and the vertical. So this angle is known as a camber angle, right? Second important angle is a caster angle. This is your tire and this is your tire from the side view along y-axis. So what is a caster angle? It is the inclination of the swivel pin axis projected into fore aft through the wheel center, right? So this is your swivel pin axis. I will tell you what is swivel pin is axis, and it is a vertical axis, and this angle is known as caster angle, right? Next is a toe in and toe out. What is toe? Toe is the difference in these dimension. This is difference is these direction. You can see the distance between from this point to this point in upper portion is less and the distance is higher in lower portion. So difference between the front and rear distance separating the center plane of a pair of wheels is known as toe. So it depends on the condition whether it is toe in or it is toe out. Let's see what is sprung weight and what is unsprung weight. So you can see here sprung weight, anything above the suspension system is known as sprung weight, and anything below the suspension system is known as unsprung weight. So here tire is your wheel is a unsprung weight and the vehicle body is known as sprung weight, and this is the suspension system, right? So it is the combination of sprung weight and suspension system and unsprung weight. So this is the system where the suspension system works, right? Next, see basic parts. What are the basic parts of a suspension system? First one is a control arm. These are the control arms. It is a movable lever that fastens the steering knuckle. We will see our next point is steering knuckle to the vehicle's body or frame, right? So it fastens the steering knuckle to the vehicle body. So it is known as control arm. You can see here, these are the control arm, and it is having bearings known as control arm bearings. Second one is steering knuckle. You can see this component of automobile is known as steering knuckle. So it is a joint from the steering wheel. So it provides a spindle of bearing support to the wheel hub, bearings and wheel assembly. So all the assembly, wheel assembly and bearings and wheel hub are supported by steering knuckle. So this point is known as steering, this part is known as steering knuckle, right? So this is the basic important part of the suspension system. Next one is shock absorber or damper. Shock absorber is also known as shock hub. A shock hub is a mechanical device designed to absorb and damp shock impulses, right? So here you can see the outer body is not a shock hub. It's a combination of a coiled spring and a damper. So internally you can see a machine component. That internal part of this machine component is known as shock absorber, but basically it is a combination of spring, coiled spring and a damper, right? Fourth point is a control arm bushing. They cushion the suspension system, which in turn controls noise and vibrations, right? So the suspension system is cushioned by control arm bushing. Obviously it is mounted on the control arm, right? Next part is ball joints, the swirl joints that allow control arm and steering knuckle to move up and down and side to side. So this is a ball joint, you can see here. And last part is a spring. It supports the weight of the vehicle, permits the control arm and wheel to move up and down. So springs are the very essential part of the shock absorbers and a suspension system, and generally they are the helical coiled springs, compression springs, not tensile springs, right? Now let's see the objectives of suspension system. So the first objective of a suspension system is to provide good ride and handling performance, right? So it provides compliance, providing chassis isolation. It ensures that the wheels follow the road profile, and it is very little tire load fluctuation. It provides very little tire load fluctuation. So it works on the good ride and handling performance, right? Second objective of a suspension system is to ensure that steering control is maintained during maneuvering. It means wheels are to be maintained in a proper position with respect to road surface, right? So it provides a steering control. Without suspension system you cannot have a good vehicle stability, good ride, good handling performance and good steering control, right? Third point is to ensure that the vehicle responds favorably to control forces produced by the tires, right? So we can see various parameters while driving a vehicle. First one is a longitudinal braking. You can see the accelerating forces, cornering forces, braking and accelerating torques. So all are these parameters affect the vehicle performance, vehicle ride. Next point is to provide isolation from high frequency vibration from tire excitation. For any mechanical device, specifically for automobiles, vibration is a very important parameter and it should be minimized, because it affects your vehicle performance. So it requires appropriate isolation in the suspension joints. It prevents the vehicle from transmission of road noise to the vehicle body, right? Now let's see the types of suspension system. So basically there are two types of suspension system. First one is known as rigid suspension system or dependent suspension system, and second one is independent suspension system, right? Let's see the rigid suspension system. A rigid or dependent suspension system has a solid axle that goes across the width of the frame. You can see here a single solid axle that goes across the width of the frame. It allows the wheel on both the left and the right side to be connected and operate together as a team. Both the suspension systems operate together in case of dependent suspension system, and motion of a wheel on one side of the vehicle is dependent on the motion of its partner on the other side, right? So you can see here a picture, a diagram of a dependent suspension system. There is a single axle, and if a bump comes in contact with one tire, another wheel also affected. You can see here, if it is affected, it is also affected. So if one side of the car bends to a given direction, the other side will follow along because of the dependency. So because of this dependency, it is known as dependent suspension system, and it is also known as rigid suspension system. Because of this dependency, it is rarely used in modern passenger cars because it is not able to provide good ride. It cannot control high braking and accelerating torques, but it is used in a commercial and off-highway vehicles, right? Next, we see the independent suspension system. Independent suspension system is any automobile suspension system that allows each wheel on the same axle to move vertically, that is reacting to the bump on the roadside. So you can see the picture of independent suspension system. It is a modern type of suspension system, and it is widely used in today's passenger vehicles. So you can see the diagram. If any bump comes in contact with a single tire, other wheel not affected, you can see here. And motion of wheel pairs is independent, so that a disturbance at one wheel is not directly transmitted to its partner wheel. And because of this suspension system provides better ride and handling.